San Antonio entered the season as one of the league's youngest teams. Led by a 7-foot alien, the Men in Black finished with the second best record in the association and are proving to be perhaps among the most formidable in the league. Now, the Spurs are making their first NBA Finals appearance since 2014 and doing so with a lot of talent and a little faith. I mean, it never hurts to have divine intervention on your side when you're taking on the defending champs. San Antonio is looking for their 6th NBA title. So now the best kept secret in the universe embarks on the journey. Here come the Men in Black. And let's take a look at how they got there. First round taking on the Trailblazers. Victor Wembanyama making his playoff debut. He had 35 points in game 1. That passed Tim Duncan for a new franchise record. Spurs dominated the Blazers in game 5, defeating the Blazers 4-1 in the series, reaching the conference semis for the first time since 2017, where they took on the Timberwolves. Now, Spurs up 2-1 in the series, but game 4, Wemby elbows Naz Reid in the face, issued a flagrant 2 foul, earned his first career ejection, and unsurprisingly, the Spurs lost the game. Wemby did bounce back in game 5 with 27, 17, and 5, and 3 blocks, leading the Spurs to a victory. Game 6, Spurs dominated the Tibbies, 30-point win to close out the series. 4-2 in the series, and San Antonio advances to the Western Conference Finals for the 15th time in franchise history, where they take on the defending champ Oklahoma City Thunder. Game 1, Wemby had a night to remember. He exploded 41 points and 24 rebounds, an otherworldly stat line, sealing the game with a pair of dunks. The Spurs won 122-115 in double overtime, giving the Thunder their first playoff loss this season. In Game 6, Spurs trailing in the series. In a must-win game for the Spurs, Wemby continued to be dominant. The third quarter, Spurs went on a 20-0 run to take control of the game. They'd force a Game 7. Now, early in the fourth quarter, Wemby knocks down the step back. He had 22 points and 7 rebounds. Spurs up 9 there under 7 minutes left in the fourth. Wemby on the bench with his 5th foul. Isaiah Hartenstein blocked by Luke Cornett in a block that some might call generational, Trev. Cornett, huge stop at the rim. Wemby is pumped. And off the miss, Stephon Castle there for the putback. Spurs win 111-103, advancing the finals for the first time since 2014.
Whatever you want to say about it, whatever negative you want to talk about it. Predicted the NBA Finals.
That's right.
So that's
the Spurs beat the Thunder in the NBA Cup, and then what happened? They lost to the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying.
Indeed.
I'm saying the NBA Cup.
Listen, they did not put a ribbon up in those rafters at MSG for this very reason. They wanted to wait for the real thing. We'll see if the Spurs...
I assume they're going to put up an Eastern Conference Championship banner. I guess
they will do that. They have those up there already.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're headed for a very high interest level series. The idea of Victor Wembanyama playing finals games at Madison Square Garden.
The Knicks in the finals period was going to be high interest, but especially against Victor Wembanyama, who is as much of a phenomenon as there is in the sports landscape and as there has been in the sports landscape for a while.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Passan texted me, I think during game 1, the 41-24 game, and our MLB insider is a big NBA fan, and he said, yeah, he's Ohtani, and he is Ohtani. Like, in terms of just like the absolute game-breaking nature of his presence on the field or on the court in Victor's case. Like, Ohtani's doing just completely crazy stuff that we've never seen anybody do before and playing the game in a way we've never seen anybody do before. And Victor's doing the same thing. And it obviously would have been pretty cool to have the defending champs, see if Shea and the Thunder would have been able to finally stop what is now going to extend the record streak of consecutive seasons without a defending champion. We're not going to be up to going into a 9th straight season without a consecutive champion in the league, which has never happened before. But Victor Wembanyama at Madison Square Garden playing against the Knicks for either his first NBA title or snapping the half-century drought for the Knicks to win a title doesn't get a lot better than that. It's going to be pretty fun.
At this point in the proceedings, because we have total new blood here, it should be the casual shouldn't hate either side, right? Like you may, that's what happens when teams come back over and over. Like there's like a vein of that's already happening with the Thunder for various reasons, but the casuals shouldn't be. I mean, obviously, if you're a Knicks fan, you're not gonna hate on the Spurs and vice versa. But am I naive to think that this could be a series actually that could be celebrated, or am I a fool in 2026?
I don't think anything is celebrated, but it should be because it's going to be awesome.
It should be. And look, the Knicks are playing. You guys have talked about just like statistically, they are playing like historically dominant basketball right now. And then we've never seen anything like Victor Wembanyama. So this should be a ton of fun. Wemby will become polarizing pretty soon. I'll tell you that. I will predict that. Wemby
because he's got the arrogant streak in him. Is that why? I could see that.
There's been a couple of off-putting things with him during this playoff run because he's going to be so damn good for so damn long.
Oh, I agree. You're absolutely right. I'm just saying it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, you're either going to love him or hate him.
Right.
Pretty soon. I mean, in Oklahoma City, they hate him. That's not going to change.
But everywhere. I mean, that's what happens with anybody of that level of talent. That's where it's headed.
And he does not mind being the villain either, by the way. He's just fine with that.
Listen, I was over at my son's friend's house yesterday. They're big Spurs fans. And they have two dogs, Wemby and Yama.
I mean, look, as we have talked about so many times, he's everything you want the guy who's going to be the face of the league to be. He is an unbelievable player. He does it in a way that nobody else can or has done it. He is not afraid to speak his mind publicly and say stuff that's interesting.
When he does post-game media.
Well, yes. I mean,
which he did tonight and was somewhat emotional.
Oh, he was. And I like this quote in particular. I want to feel those emotions I felt when the buzzer went off again and again and again, and even more. You work all these hours we put in. It's for those emotions. I want to win so bad. It's like my life depends on it.
Well, and that's the other thing. The guy desperately wants to be great. And he
has all the talent and all the desire and competitiveness.
There are very few people you can look at anything and say they could be the greatest to ever do it. And Victor Wembanyama has the ability to end all the arguments. Like he really could.
It's within the realm of possibility, that's for sure.
And he wants to end all the arguments. And that's why it's cool. And that's why you're right. Like the day is going to come pretty soon when he's going to have plenty of people not being a fan because there's going to be a whole line of people trying to take him down. And maybe it'll be in a couple of weeks. Maybe the Knicks will win, and maybe it'll be next year, the year after, or whenever. I mean, it is worth saying because I wrote a thing. I like you, Brian. I had something that was ready to go whether either of these teams won for our finals preview package. The two things that are comparable to this for me are when LeBron had the 48 special in 2007 and got to the finals, getting by Detroit. And in 95, when Penny and Shaq got to the finals with Orlando after never won anything before that as a franchise. Certainly those guys hadn't. So the Spurs would love that comparison to end there for one very obvious reason.
Right.
Both those teams got swept in the finals. So I don't anticipate the Spurs getting swept. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
Of course, you know what? I didn't think the last two opponents of the Knicks were getting swept, so maybe I better step back.
Well,
it's called the Sixers getting swept. Oh, wait, he said that.
I did not.
He called the sweep.
I did not call that. But yeah, like it, this, I mean, it's just it should be an awesome finals on top of what was
hopefully.
Well, I mean, it should be. Hopefully, it is. But it's certainly got the potential to be, just like this series did.
Eyeballs on it, I can promise you that.
A lot of eyeballs on it
last year.
And this series wasn't perfect. A lot of the games in the middle were pretty clunky and not super competitive, but it provided all the drama that we expected it to. And again, it
was a great first chapter in this rivalry.
Yes, there will be. I predict there will be. Assuming health, knock on wood, there will be a lot of things, probably a lot of books and a lot of stories, and a lot of things done on the Thunder Spurs, this version of the Thunder Spurs rivalry, not even including the last one. And I I suspect that you, like you said, McMahon, I suspect next year in late May, you'll be back doing the I-35 again to see which of these teams gets back to the finals next time.
All right. Well, there's a lot more to talk about with the Thunder's offseason and whatnot, but we'll save that for later. Right now, they're going to lick their wounds. And yet again, we have seventh straight year of no back-to-back champ.
I really thought that was going to end this year. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I thought that the Thunder would find a way to win one of these last two games. And I know there was a couple of lead changes and they stuck their nose ahead, but with the state that they were in, the proper team won this game.
It's worth remembering that Jalen Williams possession in first overtime, the game one, like you talk about it all the time, Brian, when you kick away a game in a series like this, it's very hard to get it back. And if he just holds the ball and they have a shot clock violation, I think there's an extremely high probability that the Thunder win that game. But the way possession went,
Victor's shot is what? One in what?
He shot an open 28-footer. It's a great shot.
It was longer than 20.
No. Okay, 30-footer. Fine. My point is, though, if they had just...
It's what, though? It's
a very hard shot. It's a very hard shot.
Yeah,
just a great shot.
He misses that shot, the game's over.
Just a 7.5-foot guy pulling up in transition from 30.
I don't care how tall he was.
I don't care how
open he was or how tall he was.
It was an all-time great moment by Victor, for sure. Yeah. Again, but the Thunder had the ball up 3 with 30 seconds to go at home.
They got to win it.
Lost the game.
They got to win it. They got to win.
You give away that game against a team like this and a guy like that. You say it all the time. It's very hard to get that back, and ultimately, that was that was the difference in the series right there.
Yeah, because they were sort of horse trading. This game was close, but the Spurs. I have this saying, I'm known for sayings. I have this saying that the Thunder are never desperate. It's sort of my ode to the way they operate, plus all the things they've got going for them. They're typically very, very even keeled. The Spurs never look desperate in this game.
Well, it helps going up double figures in the first quarter.
Well, and that's where the Dort thing was just a killer. I was sure they weren't going to start Dort today.
Especially because Dagnall has no problem changing his lineups. It's not
that's the one thing they've never done is sit Dort. And
Dort is, along with Shea, the two guys who were here from the tear down all the way on up. And look, they've got decisions to make this summer. Dort's team option is certainly one of those. And Shea gave me the quote where he said he'll have.
Well, they're picking up that team option. The question is about whether they're trading him on it.
Well, Shea gave me the quote where he said, I don't know, because listen,
he's not going away for nothing. They're not saying goodbye.
Money's going to be a concern. They're going to have to trim money somehow. But anyway,
he has value.
Shea gave me the quote where he says, "I'll have zero input. I'm going to let Sam Presti, the best GM in the world, do his job." It was a great quote. I don't believe it. I certainly believe this, that Shea will lobby for his guy who's been here with him the whole time, who plays on Team Canada with him, to continue to be right here in OKC.
They're going to have a very interesting summer. It's going to be, and now they're, unfortunately for them, they're going into the summer.
Yeah. Tough one for the Thunder to go down in this one, but I think the better team won.
Listen, the Spurs beat them 4-5 during the regular season.
Yeah.
Beat them 4-7 here. Like these Spurs proved
1-2 games in OKC.
The Spurs proved themselves to be the better team.
No doubt.
All right, on to the NBA Finals, where we'll be providing comprehensive coverage. Our schedule will be totally different into the finals.